Alpha is type Cessna Skyhawk 3 miles south of Echo Golf Romeo Whiskey. Request flight following. Cessna Alpha Sierra, X-ray Golf Sierra, Alpha Manchester approach.
Bonjour. Hello. Okay. So where are we? What are we doing? Not two sentences you ever want to hear a pilot say. So we are in the northwest of England. I'm not sure whether there should be any prizes for guessing where we are. But this is a little kind of jaunt that we're going to have. I'm just going to trim off the ailerons. But yeah, currently we are headed northeast a little bit, which we don't actually want to be doing. But this is my little introduction to this trip. This is going out to all you dads out there, specifically my dad. What I'm going to do is we're going to do a little jaunt round to the left here. I don't know whether this is recognisable yet. I'd be very impressed if you can figure out where we are, apart from headed into some cloud, which doesn't really help very much. We're approaching 4,000 feet, and in front of us you should see a motorway, and well, to our right is Accrington, to our left is Rawtenstall, and in front of us is I think the M65. So what we're going to do, there's the motorway. What we're going to do now, we're through that cloud. Hopefully there's not too much ahead of us. Just patchy cloud. We can live with patchy cloud. So we're going to follow the motorway. M66, sorry. I think M66 is probably more accurate. I'm going to take our speed down a bit. I'm going to put the flaps down a tad. And what we'll do is we'll follow the motorway, as mentioned, until we reach Bury. So, should we reduce our altitude a bit? Let's. I'm going to trim off a bit so the nose is down, so we stop climbing. 3,800 feet. So as you can see down there, we've got that's probably the Ramsbottom junction right there. So again, following the motorway, shaving off some altitude, getting through this thin cloud. Trying to get that speed down a bit because we're currently 140 knots, which is acceptable in a Cessna, but not acceptable if you're trying to do a bit of sightseeing. So yeah, following the motorway, we're going to pass Edenfield below us. Ramsbottom after that. The aim of the game here is to find my dad's house. Now it should be pointed out that this is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, a free-to-play game with the Xbox Game Pass. And what you see in the way of 3D buildings, cars, all the rest of it, is generated by artificial intelligence. It basically looks on the map imagery, figures out what a house is, or a an industrial building, or trees. They populated the world essentially with buildings and trees and houses, and obviously some traffic there, just artificially placed on there. It's very realistic, although I think, I guess the traffic's fairly realistic speed-wise. Anyway, we're still following the motorway, and the plan is we'll come off at the Bury Junction, we'll go over Bury, and we'll just follow the Bury Bolton Road up to Seddons Farm Estate in Bury, and we'll try and do a flyover 45 Watling Street, which is an address of significance to myself and my father. So, as I was mentioning before, because the buildings are artificially generated, the buildings don't look like they do in real life. In a minimal number of towns, they actually look exactly like that because they've been it's called photorealistic imaging. So they take images from much closer that are taken from aerial photography and the like, and that enables them to have a lot more accuracy. But there's only a couple of places that have that now. Okay, so we're at the Bury Junction. Come on, so we're going to bank left and then right over the B&Q, I think that is, and then we're going to follow the main road up into Bury Town Centre. Hopefully not losing too much altitude. Get the old wings level, that's the trick. Create a bit of lift. Yeah, we're still descending here, so I'm just going to give ourselves a bit more boost. I don't think they call it boost in the aviation industry. Headed into Bury. There you go, there's Bury up ahead. View Cinema, Bury Market. I think we're going to take a rather dramatic left in a second, so let's account for that. I want to try and follow the road because you get that experience of I think this is Onglem Way, passing by the college, the other side of the market. And I think, if I've got it right, I think that's Bury Bridge that we're just passing over now. I need to give myself a bit more boost. A little bit low. So we're going up Bury Bolton Road. We're still going at a fair lick. Let's put the flaps fully down, give ourselves a bit more boost, a bit more lift. I think we need a bit more actually. I can normally get this plane a lot slower than this, but never mind. And what we're aiming to do is we're aiming to find Watling Street, which is coming up soon. I think I can see the primary school, Mile Lane, the shops up there. So we'll bank left to give ourselves a bit of a chance of getting round here. There's the new housing estate, which was obviously still under construction when the imagery was taken, and we're going to head up. We're going to crash into Watling Street, and there you see Watling Street. We're going up Watling Street, and there's Priest Hall Close, and just off to your left and down is 45 Watling Street. Excellent. Okay. What I'll try and do, so we've got a bit more Oops. What we'll try and do is we'll try A, not to crash, so let me just concentrate a little bit on that. And B, to do a bit of a loop round and then pass over Watling Street. I'm sure this is all very interesting to people who know the area, but the aim of the game here is to specifically pass over Watling Street. So we're going to bank round rather steeply.
Stall.
Try not to stall like we're being warned we're about to do.
Stall.
Yeah, I know. Chill out.
Stall.
Chill out. Right, here we go. So we're aiming for those buildings up ahead. They are just north of 45 Watling Street. It's quite hard to pick out. Yeah, I think we may have. We did pass over Watling Street then, but not in a way I would have liked. So let's just try another sortie. Okay. There we go. Watling Street. 45, just down there. Okay, so that's not the end of the fun. Could we take any more of this, you ask yourself? Yes, is the answer. What we're going to do now is we are going to head down Grindsborough Road, which will join the other road, whose name I've forgotten. It's not Ainsworth Road, is it? Or is it? No, it's not. What am I talking about? So we're going to head down into Ratcliffe. And then we're going to pick up the tram. So let's get you a map. There you go. And this should give you an idea of what's going on. So what we'll do is we'll pick up the tram, which is off to our left. And once we've joined that, in a few seconds, there it is. We're going to follow the tram track into Manchester. And then we're either going to land at Barton, which would be the sensible place to land for one flying a Cessna, or Manchester Airport. I'll make a call on that. I think Barton's probably the more interesting airport to land at, because you've got the I think it's the Manchester Ship Canal, isn't it? Whilst doing all this, following the map, talking to you, and checking the stream, I've somehow managed to stay on track with the tram. So, round of applause for me there. For your information, we are just about to cross the M60 motorway near Prestwich. There you go. There it is in all its glory. Quiet day, must be locked down. Okay. And Heaton Park on your left. Heaton Park is pretty big, it has to be said. There you go, look at that. With a whacking Great Lake there. Amazing what you can see from up here. Anyway, we're still successfully following the railway track, although it does seem... I don't know whether... Is there a tunnel goes under Heaton Park, maybe? I think there is. I think it comes out round about there. Because we have again picked up the train track, so that's good. If we look ahead, or off to the right, you can see the smoggy Mancunian skyline. Right, we need to do quite a sharp right around here. I'll be honest, I have lost the train track at this point, but according to the map, we're still following it. There we go, there it is. You see Manchester in the distance? 670 feet off the ground, and yet you get a fantastic view from up here. Right, I'm just going to update the map and try not to nosedive into Manchester. There you go. Still following the train track. Flaps fully down, so we can't really... We can maybe get a little bit more. If I adjust the trim, I reckon we can probably take a bit of speed off. Because there's a lot to take in when you hit Manchester proper. There it is. Mancunian skyline. Salford in the distance, I think. And then you got a more significant railway here. And there you go. If you look to your left, my place of work, Angel Square. As I say, not photorealistic just yet. It's a computer generated image, but it's done a pretty good job, it has to be said. Victoria Station. There's the roof and the main body of the station. And there's even the new building that only went up a couple of years ago. You probably see the Hilton if you look. It wouldn't be that way, would it? It would be that way in the distance. So there you go. Now, just for the sake of all Grahams that might be watching, I'm going to see if I can find Piccadilly Station. Again, without crashing. Okay. I'm sure my dad will spot the station before I do. Where's the Arndale? Right, there's Arndale House. I think that's Arndale House. I could be wrong. It has been known. Oh, that's Arndale House. There you go. There's the main platforms at Piccadilly down there. And if you were headed towards my hometown, you'd go back that way. Sort of over there somewhere. But that's not the plan today. The plan today is to land somewhere. So, this is all going to be a little bit guesswork based on this map. Do we want Manchester or do we want... I think it might be more interesting to do Trafford, Salford Quays, So we'll head towards Old Trafford now. You can actually see Manchester United's stadium. It's computer generated again, so it's not photorealistic. It's not done a bad job, but I'm not sure what the computer thought it was doing. But you'll see shortly. We'll head for the river. And I think we can probably see Old Trafford. And I do believe on the horizon over there is Barton. So that would be handy, wouldn't it? If we could take in the sights of Manchester. In fact, why don't we head this way? We'll pick up the river as it exits the city centre. Just there, and that'll take us round the sort of elbow of the ship canal, bypassing Old Trafford, and headed towards Salford Quays. That sounds like a nice little sightseeing trip, doesn't it? There's the elbow. You can see ahead. Football ground is just there now. What I think the computer thought it was a block of flats with a stadium attached to it. Which, whilst that would be an excellent place to live, look out your window and watch United City playing below you. It's not exactly how it's set up, but if you want to have a look, let's do that. So just off to the wing is just about to go over Old Trafford Stadium right now. There you go. Now when that gets photorealistic, that's going to be really good, because I've seen stadiums that are photorealistic. At the moment, as I say, it's a block of flats with a football pitch next to it. Right, how do you want to do this? So, Barton Bridge intersects the what I think is the Manchester Ship Canal, which is just here. I forget what angle Barton Aerodrome airstrip is at, but we will we'll find out when we get there. We're at 1100 feet, so let's drop that a little bit. What we want really is to cross over the Barton Bridge over the top of it, and then we might have to loop back and drop in at Barton Aerodrome. Let's have a look back at Mank. There you go. Manchester, as they call it. Looking out to the north. So I think I haven't updated the map. Do excuse me. Let me just bring us back. There you go. Oh, we banked round a bit there. Apologies, I was flying a plane. Yeah, so you will occasionally see a little 2 or 4 seater aircraft like this buzz over Barton Bridge. Saw one at an interesting angle the other week, trying to get some reduced altitude rather dramatically. So we're at 1100 feet, so I don't think we really want to be trying to land directly. There's Barton Bridge. That there, I would imagine, is the Trafford Centre. So let's take our speed down a bit. Yeah, so you can see there's also a rugby stadium just there. There's the bridge. And there's Barton. Now, Barton is not a tarmacked airstrip. It's just a grass strip that you land on. So I think what we'll do... I'll tell you what. You know what? Why don't we go to Manchester Airport? While we're at it. Now, what I'm hoping, because I'm not entirely sure where the airport is, what I'm hoping is that it's it pops up with a indicator on the map. Not yet, I have to say. Right, okay, let's
Climb and maintain 10,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 23 right approach by a Mike Charlie Tango transition.
right, so we want to be headed pretty much into the sun here, unfortunately. We're going to pass over Sale, Stretford, Wythenshawe, and then we're landing at about 90 degrees to our current route. So beneath you, just coming up, is Stretford. 1,000 feet, that'll do. Still travelling over the M60, I think. I'm just going to check my stream, make sure it's still live. It looks like it is. Yep. Still got the map on there, that's good. Oh, we do have another view. If you want to see a more of a sizable map, and then I can sort of zoom that in a bit. Oh no, I can't actually. Okay, let's go back to the other one. Don't want to lose me way. It's easy to take your eyes off it. Okay, there we go. That's probably enough to give us a view on where we're headed. And the airport, just in the haze there, is just about showing up. Currently, we're sort of going to intersect the runway at the moment. So what I want to do is just traverse, I think is the right word. Want to traverse around and and then that should give us a nice approach then. Give us a bit of time to descend, line up with the runway and all the rest of it. Matthew will be so proud. Or he'd roll his eyes, I'm not sure which. What are we on? 20 past 9 in the evening. Should be enough time to send this over to me da. Right, this is all a bit of a guesstimate, to be honest. I'm able to increase and decrease speed. Height, which is good. I'll level out a little bit. Ooh, headed into some tricky visibility there. Well, there you go. That's Mank. So I like to try and get reasonably level with the motorway, with the runway before I start my descent. think we'll land on the main runway, which is to the right. Where we've seen many a plane come in. 63, 64 miles an hour. That's pretty slow. There's probably vehicles going faster than us on the motorway. Okay, looking at the map, looking okay. Can we zoom a little bit? Yeah, there you go. Maintaining a healthy sort of 800 feet at the moment. I don't want to descend too much or too quickly. Coming in at over... Where are we? A bit more altitude might have been a good idea, to be honest. I think I can just make out the one of the runways or both of the runways. Not entirely sure whether we're lined up just yet. I'm going to give it a bit more beans because it feels like the aircraft's going to struggle a little bit and we don't want to lose altitude unnecessarily. Feeling is it's still off to the left a little bit more, but the actual runway okay, let's just descend a little bit and then that speed will allow us to pick up again. I'm going to trim us a little bit so that we can maintain our altitude without sort of descending, which was what it was feeling like. We're still okay, yeah, I think we're oh, there's a plane coming in, look at that. Well, we're obviously not taking a particularly good angle like that, are we? Okay, so we need to drop from 1,000 feet to 0 feet. We do not have much time to do that. Blimey, right, okay, let's drop significantly. Come off the power a bit. Let's get more descent. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into the cockpit. And that'll give us an idea of just how miles away I am. That's not too bad. What's our speed? That was 500 feet. We're doing... ooh, we're going a little bit fast. A little bit off target as well. But Manchester Airport, thankfully, is a bloody big runway, so we're okay. Let's just get ourselves down and on target. I'm going to drop off the throttle quite significantly. We're going to hover over the runway. It doesn't want to come down, and we're going to run into a plane. Never mind. Let's see whether we can stop before that plane. That'll be interesting. Probably not. Right, we're landing at about 20 miles an hour here, which is insane. Nose up, nose down, brakes on. And luckily I think we've got a whacking great plane behind us, haven't we? Yeah, can you see it? Amazing. Amazing. There you go. You wouldn't want to do that in real life. Anyway, that was fun. I hope that was enjoyable for everyone. We had a bit of a jaunt I think next time we will take a different journey, maybe somewhere else familiar, maybe the Lake District or Snowdon. But yes, I hope that was enjoyable for anyone who watches this. If you would like to see more of that, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.